Howdy, and welcome back to Disco Elysium with Wickedstorm Gaming. We're learning about cryptids today. Yes. Why would you put a longer life being alive? It's terrible. I intend to live forever as well. She was preparing for the end time. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings. Yeah.
Miss Janu did talk about the end of the world a great deal before her abrupt departure. Everyone thought the bacteria had driven her mad, but she really was a brilliant woman. Maybe the Cryobacter catlensis allowed her to see something no one else could. Yes.
Ooh.
It's the kind green ape. Half war story, half undiscovered species in the genus Homo.
Well, I didn't get far into this episode. Back to Google. The kind green ape. What the fuck? And yeah, that's just that's another one that's just been like, again, they started off with one that's an actual cryptid in real life. Like someone actually found this thing, stuck it in a fucking peanut butter jar of formaldehyde, and was like, "Look, I found a thing." And like in real life, it didn't dissolve itself. Like it just sat in a peanut butter jar of formaldehyde. Just, I got to remember to put that in there. Put gnome pick. Right, there we go. Oh, about a war story?
Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
Can you imagine you're in war, like you get shot, and then in the middle of the night you're sitting in the tent, like kind of patched up, still suffering, and a fucking green gorilla comes in and starts hucking loogies into your wound?
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight. Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus. Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
Do it, Kim, you're not human. Pretty the same species as to say otherwise is stupid. That's why I always have to take the lead, right, Kim? What the fuck?
The lieutenant looks at you, pleasantly surprised.
I was very tempted to claim he wasn't human, but that'd be very mean.
No, I didn't mean to imply that Saolites are inferior to us in many ways. You are superior. For example, your earwax doesn't have a foul odor like ours does.
Fucking what?
A tremendous evolutionary advantage, I'm sure. But perhaps we've had enough speculative biology for today.
No, one more.
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course there are. What wouldn't there
Of
be?
course.
Yes.
All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Shush, Kim.
It's the Coldamama
Shush.
Daqua.
What?
Name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Coldamama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
It's another one that's only been made up for Disco Elysium. I have to check all these because they had one real one at the start. And also, this one sounds like a fucking SCP. Right? Then it says it's a whisperous sound and precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. Afraid of us makes it incredibly difficult to track. This is a fucking mimetic SCP. What does it sound like? It could be here right now.
It could be.
Oh.
As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
Maybe it's predatory.
What was predatory?
It's not. Don't worry. If it were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts.
I mean, like, predatory, it could just be preying on, like, the sound waves that we create.
I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also invisible?
What if it is invisible? Like I said, what if it feeds off your sound waves? So it's like predation, like it's predating on your sound.
Like nothing. It's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window and you wouldn't even know it. could be anywhere. Everywhere, even.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
That'd actually be really cool, like a microscopic fucking creature that travels by like on sound waves, like the pressure in the sound wave like just moves it around, and so it floats around and shit in the sky or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s,
back when we had real good tech.
Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of... When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Well, I mean, they were studying birds.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest-pitched bat calls.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Coldumama after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Wow.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them. Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the Mamadaqua they followed individually. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
By making a recording of its
they
voice?
tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadaqwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
They cancel each other out?
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing.
No, if they makes the sound of the same frequency, it should amplify it. But if like it's the opposite frequency, then it cancels each other out, right?
No, dear. They cancel each other out. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Great regret washes over her.
Oh no.
A wending cloth.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Coldumama population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
That's a fun story.
I'm glad you did, dear. What about what?
What about... We're out of cryptids.
I'm glad you like them, but I'm not really one to tell you about all of them. You should ask my husband if you get the chance. He's the real expert.
Oh, trust me, I'm fucking going to. Oh, I'm fucking going to. Quick, let's go bother the cook.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Helpful as always, I see. Oh, the thought says that you can see through them. Cool. I had a thing above my head for a second, and it disappeared. There's money there.
Oh, hello, dear.
No, it's not coming. Right, there it is. One of the spices all to okay, there it is. That's was not helpful. Get out of the room. Oh, right. Oh, she's inside now.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
And why she suddenly become all
Her
hostile?
entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does.
Maybe he does.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
I really don't give a shit if you recognize my authority or not.
It
The fact is,
doesn't
I have
matter
it.
If you recognize
Yeah.
our authority, we will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. How is that sign cleanup going? Huh? Fuck the police and all that? She said she would clean it.
I guess you're not a winner after all. What's your role in this? What if I wanted to talk to you, not Titus? Going to do to me? Why are you so aggressive?
She shrugs. Almost. It's in there.
Bitch.
She's just stonewalling.
I have heard about your medical condition. People talk, and I have no patience for it. Or pity.
A cheap deflection, but brutal. This did not have the effect you desired, but it did something. She shrugs. It's in there.
This is about your alcoholism, isn't it?
A cheap deflection, but brutal. This did not have the effect you desired, but it did something.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it.
Well, I mean, now that you've mentioned
Not
it.
lose out on anything good by not saying it.
Now that you've mentioned it. Ah,
What are we going to do to you?
You were specifically asked not to say that, and then you said it anyway. You junior delinquent. But you still did.
I got XP for it, too.
The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Then why are you threatening me?
Goddamn right it is.
No, it's that guy I was looking for. I guess that's you with the hat.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
It's not level cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individual. What the fuck? I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong there. Says principled and strong. Unlike you socialists, I like that. Good start. Let's take a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, Then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
That's weird. Why wouldn't I? It's a bowl. The spill is reeking of tobacco. Ew, it's a spit cup. Ew, it's a spit cup. Take it. Money gained. Why did Kim go in the other room? There's a men in overalls, toting guns, using place cards. Definitely not armed. Oh, thorn bushes outside. Why is that There's bushes outside.
This is where you say your bit.
Okay. Tasks. What is tasks? What happened? Okay. No? Trigger the vigilantes. Find the group jaws. Okay, that's not helpful. I have a lot of things. I think I can level up twice. Which is good, because I might need to.
Detective.
Oh, Kim came back. As usual, the sharp note, he's leaving it to you. That's not a good idea, Kim, and you know that.
Precinct 57's finest scans the room, leaving the speaking to you. He trusts you.
Why?
Maybe against his better judgment.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He does.
Don't say anything at first. I need to talk to you about your attitude. No, I don't really give a fuck about his attitude.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
Real smeller, too.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
You didn't record in the same place as everybody else, did you?
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
You notice how he's not echoing at all?
Ease,
Or him.
boys. These janitors.
Someone
have a
recorded their
hell of a
lines
job
over a
cut out
phone.
for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Are you kidding me? Compared to that fucking kid, this is going great.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine.
And recorded at a different place than everyone else.
Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s. Early 40s.
He's still at the same table. He's on the other side of the table. Same table.
A symmetric burn on his neck.
Uh-oh.
Resembling the letters loss, loss. Has he tried to burn it off? Leave that life behind? And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40.
Well, I keep mentioning shoe sizes. I don't remember what shoe sizes we found in the mud, but we found a lot of shoe sizes in the mud.
The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain.
The captain,
In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Plectrum. Where?
On his neck.
Ah.
Forget it. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41. With the light
Where's
step.
the low guy?
Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing.
Maybe we were to call him a
Big
rat
guy,
missing face.
Boot
Missing
size
teeth.
46. deep marks, probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Okay, so we're just immediately recognizing these people as the fucking murderers.
In
All right.
conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
Yes.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Well, the timer just ended, so we're going to talk to these guys next time. So for now, like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want, share it if you can, and do what you want. Check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you next time. Have fun.